Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to welcome you in our Java mobile development webinar. And in this webinar, we'll be discussing on the applications and products that we have been working on in Javra. And likewise, we'll also discuss about our experience and the knowledge that we have gained on working with those products. Likewise, we'll also share technical architecture and design pattern, and also the testing methodologies and development methodologies that we follow in Javra. And before starting the webinar, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Avishka, and I have been working on Java and Java related technologies for around 10 years. And likewise, I have been also working on the mobile development also. Before starting our agenda, our webinar, I would like to give a short introduction on the agendas about enterprise application development, and also we will cover native application development. Likewise, we will also cover cross-platform application development. Likewise, we'll also go through hybrid application development, and also we'll share our experience on working with those applications, from Java enterprise level applications to mobile applications. In mobile applications also, we'll also share our experience on native application development, cross-platform application development, and also we'll also go through hybrid application development. Likewise, we'll also discuss on the architecture and design pattern that we have that we have been doing and following. Likewise, we'll also go through the development methodologies that we follow in Javra, and also another topics is we will discuss on how to process data on real time. We'll also discuss on the real time data analytics, how machine learning and AI can be integrated in your applications to process real time data, and also we'll showcase demo for Java web applications, native applications, and cross-platform, and we will be we'll also showcase some of the modules of our products, and this is the agenda of our webinar. And in this webinar, our main focus will be on our experience that we have gained on developing the products in Javra, and also the basic design patterns, and the problems that we have faced, and the solution that we have find out on working on those products for our clients. So let's start our webinar. I would like to give a short introduction about Javra software. Javra was established in 1999 in Netherlands, and since its establishment, we have been providing various wide range of IT services to our clients worldwide. Javra was established in Nepal in 2006, and we have been providing different range of IT services to our clients, from mobile application developments to web application developments, and also we are also working on IoT, machine learning, AI, and we provide overall IT solutions to our clients, from enterprise level applications to mobile app, and also IoT applications, machine learning to big data. We provide overall solutions as per the needs of our clients. And also in Javra we follow agile methodology for our product development. We go through agile process, and also we follow test driven development. We go through every steps, and also we go through unit testing, integration testing, and also we go through different phases of software developments. So in Javra we have developed our own standard, so that we can deliver high quality products to our clients. And our main concern and focus area is to give quality products, and also high performance, and also give a good user experience, so that we can provide our clients maximum benefits, so that they can focus on their business areas. That is the main motto of our motto in Javra. So to provide our customers high level of satisfaction, we also do extensive research and development work also. In Javra we have been providing many solutions, from modern web applications development to mobile application developments. And also we provide services on progress platform. Likewise, we provide services on big data and business intelligence, e-commerce, integration, and messaging. And we have already successfully delivered products and applications. And there are many success story of our applications. So in Javra we have been continuously working to develop high quality products, and make customizations on those products as per the needs of our customers. Now I would like to discuss on some of the products that we have developed in Javra. In Javra we have developed products like our own products, like we have our own platform for software development, that is called, we call Javra platform. Likewise we have another product, Sasia, and we have OneDrive. Now I would like to move on our this slide. Likewise, I already told that we have a research and development department in Javra, and our research and development team is working with closely with our customers to gain insight of what is their business needs. And we have done numerous research and development work also. Likewise, we try to give high level of client satisfaction, and also we want to make our applications very up to date, so that those applications has all those latest technologies that is emerging as per the business needs. Currently we have been working on React.js, Magneto, Xamarin, Node.js, and LoRa. So these are some of the topics and areas that we have been working on. Likewise, we are also focusing on machine learning, AI, and big data in Javra, and we have been doing research on those areas, so that we can integrate those technologies on our existing products, and also integrate our solutions to our clients, so that clients can have high level of productivity in their business. And also our team is working to extract high level of information from those extensive large storage data, and for that part our research team is now mainly focusing on the AI sections, and also we are doing some research on some of the open source libraries that provide AI solutions. Likewise, for example, we are also working on and doing research on Spark, Hadoop, and also we are also doing research on NoSQL database, because when there comes performance, then the scalability is very important. Therefore, we are also focusing on the scalability of the applications, so that we have high level of performance and 24-hour running applications. So these are some of the research and development areas that we have been working on in Javra. Now I would like to move on another sections, and this sections we'll discuss on the enterprise applications development. So, and this enterprise application development sections is more related to large scale applications, and also in large scale applications there are certain factors that we need to consider when we are developing large scale applications. So here are some of the points that we need to consider when we are working on large scale enterprise applications. One of the very important point on developing enterprise level application is the scalable database. I have previously told that we are working on research and development to give our customers high level of performance in the applications and 24-hour running services. Therefore, scalability is very important in developing enterprise level applications, and therefore we need to have a scalable server. If one server is down, also another server can quickly respond to the client. Likewise, we need to have a scalable database, so that when the data size grows, then when the data size grows, also our database doesn't go. Our main motto objective is to give our database scalability, so that when the data grows, also the data that we have is also grows as when the size of the data grows. So for a scalable database, where there are different options like NoSQL database, and you can, for NoSQL database there is MongoDB, Redis, and another important factor is load balancing, and another third one is fault tolerance, data replications and shadings. So load balancing is also important, because in the large scale enterprise application there is a huge number of users and huge number of database. So server may go down when there is a large number, when there is a huge load in the applications. Also database may crash when there is a huge number of users are accessing the data in the database. So we need to do a load balancing on the server part as well as in the database part. So when the number of user increases, then the consistent amount of server performance will be preserved when we focus on those load balancing part. Likewise, fault tolerance is also very important, because when some of the services or some of the parts of the software when goes down, then the application should not stop. It must respond to the client. Please previous slide. So main objective of this fault tolerance is to give user 24-hour service, so that when one application fails, also another applications will keep on responding to the client. And another important factor is the data replication and sharing, because enterprise application has huge number of data. So data replications creates a duplicate copy of the data, so that when one application fails, also we have backup database and backup storage, so that we can give users data from that replica part. And another very important in application development is the data analytics, machine learning. In nowadays the enterprise level applications, there is a need of data analytics, because enterprise application has huge number of data, and the data we can characterize those data on according to their business use cases and business needs. Like some data are structural data, and some data are unstructured data, and some data are semi-structural data. So to get informations from those data, we need to run machine learning algorithm on those data. And also in enterprise level applications, we need to have a quick information on user behavior and user patterns. So we can run data analytics on those data using the latest APIs and frameworks that we have that's available in the market. So data analytics is also very important in enterprise application development. And for data analytics and machine learning, there are many libraries and framework available. We can integrate those framework and APIs in existing products, so that we can do real-time data analytics. Another part is the security. Security is very important, and for that security purpose, we need to have a strong authentication and authorization. And for that authentication and authorization, we can make our system different authentication and authorization server, so that we have high level of authentication and authorization in our applications. Likewise, and the important development factor is the development of API. API is very important, so that using the API, third-party applications, or likewise also the different services within the applications can communicate with one another using the API. And to communicate with one another, to communicate with one module with another module, we have two options, and the options are either you can use SOAP and or REST. So these are the development factors that is very very important and very needed in enterprise level application developments. And also and in Javra also we are following those these development factors in our products. We try to give our user a scalable database, and we have been integrating these factors in our applications, from scalable database, load balancing, fault tolerance, and we have data replications. And also we are doing data analytics, machine learning in our products, so that we have a quick overview on what is happening inside the applications and what is the behavior of the users. So these are the factors that I have discussed, and in Javra we have successfully implemented those factors in our applications. And also we have implemented these on working with our international clients, and we have successfully implemented these factors working with them, and we have a good response and feedback, and we have a good customer satisfactions on integrating these integrating those factors working with the clients. So now I would like to move on the next sections. And the next section is the elements of enterprise level Java applications. So when you are going to develop enterprise level Java applications, then these elements are very essential and very important. When we talk about enterprise level applications, then enterprise level applications has huge user baselines. They have a huge database, and also there is a large number of load in the server. Likewise, there is a large number of load in the database, and the data structure and the data type in the large scale application is also very complex. So we need to have a good algorithm, good design patterns, and good tools so that we can develop enterprise level applications giving a high quality and high performance. So to achieve high level of quality and to achieve a high level of performance, these are the elements that we need in enterprise level Java applications. So now I would like to discuss on those elements, and the elements that we have listed here. Listed here are those elements that we have been using in Javra in our products, and also working with our customers. We have used those elements, and these elements are very important, and these elements are very essential. Because when we use these elements in our application, then obviously our applications has a good quality, less bug, and it is and it can give 360-degree overview of applications. So the first one for enterprise level Java applications element is data source and indexing. In enterprise level applications, the performance is very important, because we store our data in the database. So concurrently hitting the database to retrieve data might make your applications slow. Therefore, to give user a good user experience and high level of performance, we do data source and indexing. So data source and indexing is very important in enterprise level applications. So we need to handle this mechanism very carefully, and to implement data source and indexing, there are many tools available, and we can use those tools to achieve high level of performance on sourcing the data. So for data source and indexing, there are many tools like Solar, Elasticsearch. We can use those tools to achieve high level of performance when we are doing a source. And another is the REST controller. When we have services, and when we want to communicate with other applications, when we want to communicate with different services within the applications, then the communication protocol between two modules, two services, with two different applications, we need to develop a REST API, what we call as a REST controller. So REST controller is very important. REST controller provides high level of abstraction when we are working with the services. So in the REST controller, there comes JSONs, and two modules, two services communicate using the JSONs format, and another is the backend service. So backend service is also very important, and backend services provide services to modules. So so in enterprise level application, we need to have strong backend services. So these backend services must have high level of security. And nowadays we divide our backend services into microservices, so that when one service is down, also another service will keep on responding to the client. And another important factor is the logging mechanism. If we have proper logging mechanism, then when application goes in the production environment, then when there is some kind of error, when there is some kind of performance problem, then if you have a good logging mechanism, then we can track what is happening inside the applications using logging. So there are different tools available for achieving logging, like Log4j and other custom logging code also we can integrate. And another is report generations, and another is the scheduler. So in enterprise applications, we need to run daily batch, monthly batch, weekly batch, yearly batch, and we need to have cron job continuously running, so that we can make a proper management, and we can make a proper management of data that is generated in the application. So we need to have a proper scheduler mechanism in our application, so that running the scheduler we can make proper management of our data that is generated in the applications. Likewise, we can also integrate scheduler with the business logic and business functionality, like running daily batch, weekly batch, monthly batch, yearly batch. So scheduler is also very important. And another important factor element is unit testing and integration testing. So to achieve high level of bug-free module, and to achieve high level of maintainability and testability, we need to have a strong unit testing and integration testing mechanism. So unit testing and integration testing is very important. And for unit testing and integration testing, we can use different tools, like we can use JMeter, Mockito, TestNG, and also we can integrate unit testing and integration testing with different build tools like Maven. And another is continuous integrations. When we have different applications, and when we have different services that work with different products, so we need to have a continuous integrations of their source code, because different developers work on different applications. So when we have numerous applications, then we need to have a continuous integration mechanism. So for continuous integrations in Java, we use Jenkins for continuous integrations. And another is the build mechanism. So we need to have a strong build mechanism, because we need to deploy our applications in the testing environment, staging environment, and production environment. So for this purpose, there are different tools like Maven. We can use Maven for building purpose, and Maven provide different profilations for different environments. Like testing environment, you can create a different profilations. For staging environment, you can create a different profilation. For production environment, you can create a different profilations. Therefore, build is also very important in enterprise level application. If you do not have a good build mechanism, then from the perspective of time, it may takes more time to generate WAR file. And another is reporting. Reporting is also, we need to have application monitoring mechanism in our applications, and for that application monitoring, we can use JMX, and also we can use JVisual JProfiler, that helps for application monitoring. So these are the elements of enterprise level Java applications, and we have successfully used those elements in our products, and we have a good experience on implementing those elements in our applications. From application monitoring to data source and indexing to REST controller, logging, unit testing and integration testing, continuous integrations, and we follow the standard process that is followed by many multinational companies working on the different products line. So we are also following the same patterns, and we are also we also go through the same patterns for software development to give our clients high level of quality on our products.
Sir, I have a question for you. Could you please tell me about logging mechanism while server is down?
Okay, when the server, if you have a good logging mechanisms, then when the server is down, then we can log those activities of server on the log file, so that looking on the log file, we can get insight of what is the parameter of the method, and where is the exception thrown, and what is the cause of the exception. So when the server is down, then if you have a proper logging mechanism, then we can quickly see on those parts what is the root cause of problems, because we can log those informations on different files, and looking over those files, we can get insight of what is happening in the applications and what is the main root cause of server down.
Okay, I have another question also. What type of repository framework you have integrated?
For framework part, For repository part, we are using Maven for the repository, and we have used Maven because Maven provides central repo and local repo, and we Maven and automatically downloads all those dependencies from central repo to the local repo. And for that purpose, we are using Maven.
And one question, what type of data source indexing algorithm you use?
In Javra, for data source and indexing, we have used two tools. One is Solar and another is Elasticsearch. And these two tools are integrated in our core products also to achieve a high level of performance and for data indexing. Okay, welcome. Now I would like to move on another section. This is the technological stack, and in this figure, we are trying to show a high level of data flow within the applications. In the left side, you can see that we have relational database system, NoSQL database system, Hadoop, and data indexing, and we have data access object, and we have Spark. Likewise, we have microservice, services, and REST controller, security, and web applications and mobile applications. Web application interact with the database through REST controller, and also REST controller interact with the data access object through services. And you can see that from services also we are directly interacting with the data indexing server, that is Solar or Elasticsearch. And from Spark also it is directly interacting with the Hadoop, and from Spark also it is directly interacting with the NoSQL database. From microservice it is interacting with the data access object, and from data access object it is interacting with the relational database system. So this is a high level of data flow that we generally follow, and both mobile application and web application, first of all, try to access REST controller, but we have a security mechanism. Before the REST controller is accessed, we go through authentication and authorization through security service that we have developed. And after the security is valid, then it goes to the REST controller. And after in the REST controller, when the data goes to the REST controller, we are making a call to microservices and services also. And we have divided our services into different microservices, so that when one service is down also another service will keep on responding to the client. Therefore, in our architecture we have adapted microservice mechanism also. And from REST controller it is called into the service layer, and from service layer you can see that we have Spark, and Spark is for real-time data streaming. And for real-time data analytics also we can use Spark. And also you can see that Spark is interacting with the Hadoop, because we can run Spark MapReduce algorithm on the Hadoop dataset, so that we can extract information from Hadoop data store using the Spark library. And also we have Solar and Elasticsearch for data indexing, and you can see that services is interacting with the data indexing server to achieve a high level of performance on the searching mechanism. So this is a high level of technological stack, and and we have successfully implemented those technologies in our products, and also working with the clients also we have implemented those technologies successfully. Now I would like to move on next section. Now I would like to move on the tools and framework that we have been using in Javra for Java application development. And for application development we have been using these tools, like we are using Spring framework to achieve to achieve a high level of dependency injection, and also to provide API services and security. And also we are using Spring Test for integration testing and unit testing, and we are using GSP, Servlet, Hibernate, Jasper Report, Maven, and IB. MySQL database, Oracle database, MongoDB, Redis, HBase, and we are using MongoDB and Redis for NoSQL database and for the scalability purpose. Likewise, we are using Log4j, Solar, Elasticsearch, and also we are using Spark and Kafka. And previously I have discussed that we are working on real-time data analytics also. So to achieve real-time data analytics, we are working on those tools, Spark and Kafka. And also we are also working on the Hadoop for storage of large scale database, for the storage of huge amount of data. That is either structural, unstructural, or semi-structural. So we have adapted Hadoop as the distributed data storage and distributed file system. Likewise, for testing, unit testing and integration testing, we are using JUnit, Mockito, and TestNG. And for version controlling and code sharing, we are using Git and SVN. So these are the high level of technological stack that we have been using. And besides these technologies, also we are also working on different front-end technologies like AngularJS, React, and also we are working on other technologies like in front-end. Also we are trying to integrate unit testing and integration testing on front-end technologies also. So this is the overview of technological stack that we have been using in Java. Now I would like to discuss on architecture and design pattern. In Java, we go through standard approach of software development. We have our architecture team, and our architecture team does architecture of the product, and so in Java we follow standard architecture on developing the products, and the architecture and design pattern that we have normally done, and is MVC pattern. And also we are doing different layers on products. Like we have divided our products into different layers, like presentation layers, web service layer, data access layer. And the main benefits of dividing the products into different layers is that we have high level of abstraction in our products, so that when we want to make some changes in those products, then it will be very easy to maintain, and it will be very easy to override and replace with the existing behavior of the product. So we are dividing our application into different layers, and you can see that we have web service layer also, service layer also. So that dividing our products into different layers makes it easy to test and integrate also, and also run unit testing and integration testing on every layers in our products. Now, okay. For distributed database, in our product for distributed database, we have gone through the NoSQL database, and we have adapted NoSQL database like MongoDB and Redis, so that we can distribute our database on different nodes, and we have high level of availability on those database, and we can run different AI and machine learning algorithm on those different nodes that we have in the distributed database. So giving answer to your questions, we are using NoSQL database for distribution of data. Okay, now I would like to continue on the development methodology. In Javra, we have agile methodology and test-driven methodology for development of our product. I have previously told that we do unit testing and integration of testing of our services. Not only services, we do integration testing and unit testing on the front-end part also, that we have been working with that we have been working in the front-end technologies. Likewise, in the back-end technologies also we do unit testing and integration testing in the controller layer and service layer and DAO layer. Therefore, we completely follow test-driven development, and also we go through agile process of software development. We have product owner, and we have agile process, and we also go through brainstorming and story point counting. So we follow the standard agile process for software development. Please, next slide. Now I would like to discuss on how to integrate data on data to process data on the real time. In the nowadays the real-time data analytics is very important. Therefore, if you want to achieve real-time data analytics in your application, then you can use Spark streaming, Spark machine learning, and also you can use Kafka. Both Spark and Kafka can be combined to achieve a high level of real-time data analytics, and this is the very this is the part that we have been working now in Javra. We are working to provide real-time data analytics on our product, and we are working to implement Spark streaming, Spark machine learning, and Kafka, and to integrate Java to process data on the real time. So if you want to process data on the real time, then Spark and Kafka can be combined together. Please, next slide. Now I would like to give a short demo on some of the modules that we have developed. It is just a showcase of the module that we have developed, and this is the some of the part of our product. So I would like to give some overview of some of the modules that we have developed using Java and Java related technologies. Now I would like to showcase some of the modules that we have developed in Javra. So this is one of the modules that I want to showcase the modules, and this is a module related to medical claim, and the main functionality of this module is that employee can make a medical claim in finance department, verifies whether the medical claim can be approved or not. So this is the main what this application does, and in this on implementing this application has two roles of either claimant and finance. So in these applications we have used string security for authentication and authorization, and we have used GSP for front-end technology, and we have used three-tier architecture, and we have MVC pattern also, and we have services, DAO, and we have REST controller also. And also we have used logging mechanism, and we have also used a reporting part, and we have used iReport and Jasper report for the reporting part, and we have used Spring validations, Spring dependency injections, and we have also used socket programming to for real-time notification purpose. So this is the showcase of Java application that we have developed, and it is the and it has and it is also providing user upload and download functionality also, so that users can upload their medical claims documents online. So now I would like to log in as a claimant. So when the user log into the claimant, this dashboard is seen, and in this dashboard you can see there is a table, and we have used Spring MVC to make a display, and we have used Spring GSP tag, and we have used CSS, Bootstrap, HTML, and this is the dashboard of claimant. So you can see that claimant, there is a table. And in the table you can see there is a claim status, either approve or not. So if a user claimant want to make a new claim, then claimant go to the new claim sections. So this is a form that claim it, fill and submit to the finance department. I will not go in the detail of the functionality of the application. Just I want to give some overview of the modules that we have developed. So now I would like to log in as the finance. So when user login as the finance role, then you can see that this is the dashboard of the finance, and you can see there is a view number of claims. This view number of claims is the real-time notifications, and we have used Spring Socket to implement this feature. And also you can see that there is a view details sections, and down there is a view details sections. So when you click on those view details sections, then finance department can see the data. And they go through those data, and they can finalize that whether this claim is eligible for approval or not. So when user do next, there is another screen. So this is another screen, and when the user do next also, there is another screens will come. So when you go to the back, you can see that this data is filled. So we have so on implementing this feature, I have already told that we have used Spring framework, and we have used Spring framework to develop our backend services, and this is a short overview of the modules, some of the modules of our applications. So I don't want to go on the detail of the business logic and applications. Just I want to showcase the modules that we have developed. So this is the so in this part I have explained you about architecture and design pattern that we have followed in Javra, and technological stack that we have been working on, and the resource topics and the resource tools and framework that we have been working on. So this is the overview of enterprise level Java applications, and so our next section will be related to the mobile application development. So for further explanation of mobile application development, I would like to call my colleague Vivek. So please, Vivek.
So from here,
I have one question.
yes, please, sure.
What kind of problem is solving by hybrid app comparing to native app?
Yeah, hybrid app. Suppose native application. Suppose if you have developed an application, native application in Android, and if you want to use that native application in Windows Mobile, are you able to use it? If I give an APK for an Android, and if you are you able to run that APK in the Windows Mobile, my dear friend? I have one question, that if I give an APK to you that is built version Android OS, and if you run that APK in Windows Mobile, are you able to run that APK that is fully built on Android native app? No. So for that only we focus on, suppose, in the hybrid and the cross-product applications. I will be building a single source code. Suppose, for example, if I build a cross-platform applications in a phone gap, I use that Cordova code, and that code will be I can use that chunk of the, so for example, the exe file or APK file in other devices, suppose Windows Mobile or the BlackBerry or the iOS. That will be used. For that purpose, we use hybrid, and that the pros for the hybrid is, suppose 80% of the code, whatever you have written, it can automatically reuse in all the platform of all the mobile platforms. Okay, but some of the code which, if you want to access a native features, then you have to build some kind of custom native features which the hybrid apps also allow. So that is the one. And about the native applications, when you use a native, if you want to use the very core feature of an operating systems of the native, so for example, if you want to use the health related app for measuring your heartbeat. For that purpose, you can't use the hybrid app. You have to use the native OS related, because that OS is interact with that. For that purpose, we focus on the native app. If you want to use for a hybrid, we fully giving the UI related. That is, we will go for the hybrid.
Okay, thank you.
The crash analytics handling is just like what you said, that roll back the data and transaction is related to the database operations. Focusing on that, focusing on questions. Crash handling, we handle the crash, crash by suppose integrate a log report file generation. And suppose what happens if any kind of exception is thrown, the app won't stop. It will just it will just pause for a while, and from which mode you have, suppose you are doing some kind of playing with the, suppose you are uploading a photo, or you can any kind of work you are doing. If the app crashes on that moment, the user won't feel that the app is crashed. It will just give a behavior that something happened, and then okay, there might be some user might be an illusion that the network has gone. So for that timing, a pause will be there, and after certainly that pause is why, because we break the app that way, and since we stop the features for a while and then continue, because in we have the life cycle, so we start that life cycle again from there and mail the silently we send a mail to the developer that okay, something gone with the wrong byte, some kind of exception was, then the developer immediately fixes the bugs, and it is immediately fixed up. So that's any more questions?
Okay, thank you for your answer. You can carry on.
Okay, so I'll call my colleague Ritin to continue the section related to native application development. He will also give the showcasing related to our products which we have developed in Javra, and what kind of practices we followed in Javra. Welcome, Ritin.
Thank you, Mr. Vivek. So today I want to introduce myself first. So I am Ritin Sakya, and I have been in this field of software development for about 4 years, for more than 4 years, in both Android application development and Java application development. So today I would like to start from the mobile development methodology. So nowadays the mobile development is not a mystery, because to develop a useful and a successful application, we should go through the intensive research and analysis, because there are millions of apps available in both the App Stores and Google Play Stores. So the competition is too high. So to prepare or to build the high quality application, we can go for the agile methodology. So what Agile is one of the best approach that we can go for mobile development, because at any time we can change our features, we can add any features, as well as we can keep up with the changing trends in the market as per the customer requirement. So in Agile methodology, it involves project development management, which breaks down huge problem into smaller models. And that smaller module is called as is managed by an individual. That can be a project manager or someone like a project leader also. So here you can see in the screen there is Agile and Scrum methodology. So let's go to what is Scrum. So Scrum is an Agile framework that is used to solve for complex projects. So Scrum is not applied not only for software development, but it can be also applied to the innovative scope of work. So it is very simple to implement, and it's not too difficult to learn this methodology. So in Scrum, there will be a product owner, and that will prepare a wish list of the tasks to be done, and then that's called product backlog. And then we will move to the next sprint planning, and in that planning, the developer will pick up the tasks from top of the wish list, and then they will decide how to implement those tasks. And in this case, the developer will have the specific time period to complete the task. to complete the task. So the sprint may be usually action from 2 weeks to 4 weeks. So at the end of the scrum, the modules, or you can say the tasks, should be shippable. I mean, that should be ready to handle to the customer or against the client. So at each step, so in Agile and Scrum methodology, in each step there will be quality testing will be done, and the documentation will be integrated along with those. So we can deliver more models in quick time to the clients, so there will be high customer satisfaction in this method. So after that method, then there will be a meeting where there will be a sprint planning and sprint review meeting, where we'll discuss all the problems that we faced during the development, and then we'll also discuss what can be done in the future or in the next sprint to overcome those problems. So these steps, development steps will be repeatedly performed until the product backlog is completed, or you can say the deadline has arrived. So this is all about this methodology. So this methodology is all about team-based approach. So totally will be more focused on the goal that we have to get at the end of this sprint. So in this method, the people interaction and the people involved in the development will be given more emphasis, because the developers are constantly in interaction with the team, with the testers, so that an application at the end of the sprint with error-free application, we can say, or error-free application, we can get that application at the end of this sprint. So next. Now I'd like to request Chiranjeevi to come here and continue this presentation.
Thank you, my colleague Ritendra. Good evening, guys. I am Chiranjeevi. I have been working around 3 years in mobile application development in Javra. Besides that, I am also working on developing Java applications, and in this webinar today I am going to give brief introductions about React Native and what we have been practicing in Javra for developing mobile applications, and I will present a short demo of the applications that we have developed in React Native. And now, what is React Native? React Native is basically a framework that is developed by Facebook on top of JavaScript library, that is Facebook JavaScript library, that is React.js. On top of that, Facebook have developed a library type framework, that is React Native, for developing mobile applications, which is multiple platform, that means cross-platform framework. Now we can develop multiple platform applications with the help of React Native. That is for different platforms like iOS, Android, Windows, etc. React Native as developed by Facebook, and Facebook initially, until now, Facebook has made it an open source project, and React Native has a large community for developing different components, different libraries for developing mobile applications, and also it has been made public in 2015. Until in today's context, React Native is under the stable versions of 0.49. We can develop the mobile applications, native like mobile applications, with that versions. React Native is developed on top of React.js. As I already have told, on top of React.js, React Native is built. That means we should develop the mobile applications being based on the JavaScript library. As we all know, hybrid and different cross-platform framework also supports for developing mobile applications. That is for different platforms, multi-platforms, for iOS, for Android. But what are the difference between that different platform, different tools or different frameworks for developing mobile applications with React Native. Basically, different tools or different frameworks, different hybrid frameworks or different cross-platform frameworks supports JavaScript with along with HTML for rendering the components, and they render the components in web view. Instead of that, what's the difference in React Native? Both in React Native, mobile application components or different UI components is not rendered in web view. Instead, it will render natively. That means while developing the applications, we should follow React.js JavaScript and also JSX. That means XML like syntax. JSX means the compilations of both JavaScript and HTML, and they have made JSX as an XML like syntax, which have different tags. We can write different tags like syntax and can develop different mobile UI or mobile view. And also React Native is basically main focus on its theme, that is launch one and write anywhere. That means when we launch React Native once or when we launch React.js plus JSX, then we can write multi-platform applications in different platforms. That means code can be shared between different platforms. Code share is the main point while developing the mobile applications in React Native. There are different advantages that is pointed out while developing mobile applications in React Native. That's why we also follow in our company. Also, we follow the same practice for developing mobile applications as mobile applications with the help of React Native. React Native helps in developing the mobile applications faster. That means what are the points that gains the point for developing mobile applications with React Native is fast. That means live reload is the main topic for developing applications faster. That means when we write the code and when we save it in our IDE, in some of the IDE like Atom or different IDE, then the React Native automatically lively reload the output and shows on the screens of mobile. That means some of the time will be reduced in developing the applications. That live reload is not supported on different frameworks like hybrid, but native in native mobile application development also live reload is not supported. Some comparison time will be there for showing out the output. And also there are different advantages of developing mobile applications with React. That means it's like ease of learning. That means learning of JavaScript is more easy than learning Java or Objective-C as comparison to the time. That means with the short limit of time we can learn JavaScript and JSX, then learning the script programming languages like Objective-C, Swift or Java. That's why ease of learning is the main point. And also code share is the main point that I have already told. Now we can share the code for different platforms. When we write one code and render the UI, render the views for Android, then the same code can be applicable for rendering the view in iOS and also for Windows. That means different till now in today's context, React Native community have developed different library for developing its views. That means one of the most popular library is nativebase.io. That means we can get all the shareable code for UI designing or for UI rendering or for rendering the UI. Means we can share the different code for different platforms. We can get that code in that library, that is nativebase.io library. And also React Native community has also other different develop other different library storage, third-party library storage community for React Native. this slide. And I've already said that React Native is the best practice for developing lightweight, time budget applications of company with a limited time. That means in faster development. Therefore, what are the basic approaches, or what are the processes or what are the architecture that React Native follows for developing the mobile applications, which is similar as that of native. There is no difference between the native applications and React Native applications when we compare both after the development. And what are the architectures that followed in React Native is the tools that can be used like Xcode and Studio. We can use the code and write the applications, and also we can use this script program language like Swift, Objective-C, Java, C++ for developing the native models, for developing different native components that can be supported in React Native with linking. That means if you don't have the different specific or complex native API that React Native doesn't support, then also we can write the native modules in different languages like Swift or Java, and we can link that modules into the React Native library and can develop the applications. In this way, the React Native development platform UI components will be developed with core libraries, style and layout, and platform API, native components, platform API. These different components are the native components that React Native libraries is built of. That means when we write the application code, then the React Native library will bridge with different native components, and also JavaScript code. JavaScript code means that running the JavaScript on device. JavaScript on device with low that means running the JavaScript lightly in device. That means JavaScript code helps the running the JavaScript lightly in device. That means running simple JavaScript is different from JavaScript code. That means while running the applications developed in React Native, JavaScript code helps to run the JavaScript lightly. That means all the functional behavior or user all the functional behavior is lightweight. That means smooth while rendering. In this way, React Native helps in developing the native applications. Okay, if there are no questions, then I'll move forward. I'll hand this. I'll call my next colleague Vivek Sharma for giving the brief introductions on cross-platform applications. Thank you.
Thank you, Chiranjeevi, for the good explanation of the React Native apps. Hope most of the guys are already working on the React Native apps. They are already well versed. So this is the little bit more coverage of the Reactive app. Now I'll be just concluding the webinar session. So it was a wonderful session with the guys, with the techie guys. So as of now, we have already have an overview how Java web applications can be developed with and the mobile applications we can integrate with. So we have overview. So in Javra we practice the best practices related to the industry standard. We follow all the document requirements followed by all things. We followed every Java requirements. We follow everything in the Java practicing. And in Javra we have overall 100 plus employees working on 100 plus employees working on different technologies, just like BI tools and .NET and Android iOS frameworks and Linux platform also. We have a well-versed engineers who are R&D engineers who are working on the artificial intelligence part, whereas the machine learning and natural language processing, and even we are very well versed in the Progress language. We have a 30 years of experience in the technical expertise in the Progress language, which is a very good and upcoming language in the sun. Where in the Netherlands, most of the banking companies work with work in progress. We deal with that one also. And recently we have developed. We have worked with multinational company, US-based company, where we have delivered a quality product on a Java, and the client is well satisfied with the product quality we have delivered with our. So I thank my all engineers, technical expertise, giving the guides for that. And even we are working on the research developments of related to the machine learnings and other parts, focusing on IoT, which is a very upcoming emerging technologies that we are focusing on that part. And augmented realities we are focusing on, and even the machine learning, all we follow on that processes. So I conclude the session with the webinar session. I thank all the participants and the audience for their patience, and we will be having more upcoming sessions related to the deeper understanding. This was just an overview of how there is a more technical explanation will be done. This is just brief. This is not a highly technical expertise we have. We have worked on well versed technical expertise. So next session will be even on that part also. So please look on to the next seminar. Please follow our page javra.com, www.javra.com, and even Javra is the sponsor for the EMA Pub challenges. It is fully progress based challenges. So guys, please follow that. Thank you.